Welcome to Summer Art Academy at the Knoxville Museum of Art. My name is Leanne Cooper, and this class is the Museum Sleuth. This is part 1, and today we're going to be looking at work by Beauford Delaney, and we're going to be talking about calligrams, self-portraits, and positivity in artwork. So today, for part 1 of Museum Sleuth, we are going to talk about Knoxville native Beauford Delaney. The first one we'll look at for this piece is his self-portrait. And I'm showing you that today because we're going to do a self-portrait. And we're going to do it a little bit different than his, but as always, we're looking at his as inspiration, and also just want you to be able to get to know his work. He uses a lot of beautiful, bright colors in his work, and he shows a lot of movement of the light, and that's something we're going to talk about in this part and another part also. But he had a little bit of depression, but he was always hopeful, and he was always looking for the hope. And I think, just my opinion, why a lot of his work has these beautiful light and movements in it is that he was always hopeful and he was looking for the hope. So the first thing that I want you to get out today would be just a scrap piece of paper. And we are going to do something today inspired by Beauford, but it's called a calligram. And a calligram is where you take words to make a portrait. This is going to be a self-portrait, and I want it to be positive. So you're going to take some time with your piece of paper and write down positive attributes about yourself. And not just how you look, but things about your character also. If you're having a hard time with that, I know sometimes it's hard to think of positive things about yourself, especially if you're having a bad day, then ask somebody you trust. Ask a grown-up or a friend, and they can help you make this list. So that's going to be our first step today. It's just to get a sheet of paper, and you can get a pencil or a pen and just write out as many of the positive words as you can think of. Okay, for our next step, I want you to get a piece of paper. I'm using a little piece of paper today just because I had to get a lot of examples made, but if you were in class, I would want you to use like an 8 by 10 piece of paper. This can be tag board or like a cardstock. If you don't have any of that around, you could use like cereal boxes and maybe prime it with some white acrylic first. Don't feel like you have to go buy anything. Try to look around and get creative with your supplies, and just ask a grown-up if it's okay to use it. So what you want to do, we're going to do a self-portrait. So when you're holding your paper with vertical is the tallest, that is the portrait orientation of your paper. So we're going to work on the paper this way. And then with our self-portrait, much like Beauford's, we're going to just do the head and the shoulders. We don't want to have our arms or any of the rest of the body. So it's going to be kind of a close-up of your face. So after you get your sheet of paper and you've laid it down in front of you in your portrait orientation, get a photograph or a mirror, or you can do it by memory if you want. But I want you to just start sketching yourself on the paper. Remember, this is just going to be your face, your neck, and your shoulders. We're not going to have any other part of your body in here. Okay, for our next part, we're going to take our sketch that we just did, and we're going to find either a dark pen or a Sharpie, and we're going to start, instead of making lines where we've made our face or our hair, we're going to fill those in with words. And these words are going to be the words that you have on your list here. So for this right here, you can just start looking at your list and start filling in your lines with these words. And so you will go around and follow these lines and just think of the words as your lines. And you'll be surprised at how much this can look like a person when you get finished. Not up close, but kind of far away when you hang it up. You'll be really surprised at how much it really does look like a person. So just take your time and start filling in all of your lines on your sketch with words. And if you need more words, just take some time and come up with some more words, or you can use a word more than once. So in this section, we're going to start coloring in our self-portrait. And as you can see, I've taken my self-portrait and I've taken the words from my list, and I have gone around all of the lines that I've made for my self-portrait. And I've filled in my eyes and my nose, even my hair. And now we're going to take some colors, and I'm just using crayons because a lot of people have crayons at home, but Beauford self-portrait is made out of oil, so if you have oil pastels, that would work good, or just crayons or markers, whatever you have. Don't feel like you have to go buy anything. His piece has lots of yellow and golden colors, and they're just very happy and cheerful, and I think that kind of goes along with our positive calligram of our self-portrait. So if you want to just take, as you can see here, I have several different shades of yellows that I'm just going to fill in the background with different shades of yellow. I'm not finished here. I'm going to do some more. But just to make it look vibrant and alive, and just like if you were watching the sun come through a tree, like where it's just moving, just a little bit of alive. And then you can do your skin color. I kind of feel like my skin's more lavender, so I did mine in lavender, and then I just fill in my shirt. So we're just going to go in and we're just going to put some more yellows in this background, and I want you to just kind of layer them. Just take your time, do as much layering as you want. The more layers you put in there, the brighter your finished piece is going to be. It's going to seem more cheerful, going to be more positive. And you can even go in and with the skin color, you could even do shadows if you feel like it. You just take as much time as you want and fill this in. Like if you were in class with me, I wouldn't want you to leave any of this white. We would just keep coloring, and we would keep adding the color until our whole sheet of paper was covered with nice, bright, vibrant colors. And just remember to keep layering your colors, all the different shades of yellow, and take as much time as you need until you get it completed. Thanks for joining me today for part 1 of our Museum Sleuth class. Today we learned about Beauford Delaney, calligrams, and self-portraits. I hope to see you again next time.